Hey everyone, this is Matt Goldich from the Sorry I've Been So Busy podcast. No new episode this week. Instead, we are reposting one of our very first episodes with the hilarious Neal Brennan, one of the funniest comics writers out there. He's actually currently on tour, on his Here We Go tour, and he's visiting a bunch of cities. So check out his tour dates if you haven't seen Neal live. He's great, so definitely check that out. And he's a super nice guy. And this is, like I said, one of our earliest episodes. And we sort of had not yet quite figured out what the podcast was yet, but I think it was still a very interesting conversation between myself, Andrew, and Neal. So please, if you enjoy this, rate and review us on iTunes, and we'll be back with a new episode very soon. Thank you, and stay busy, everybody.
Until I met my new best friend, all of my boys say I'm tripping. When they call, I'm not answering. They always get my voicemail, 'cause I'm
All right, are we rolling? We're rolling. Okay, welcome to another episode of Sorry I've Been So Busy.
Every podcast we've done so far starts off with Matt going, are we rolling?
I have no idea whether we're rolling or not. I still don't know, even though he said yes. I'm Matt Goldich. This is Andrew Goldstein.
How are you?
We managed to create a podcast that does not have gold in the title. We were, it would have been too easy.
We used to host a comedy show called Comedy Gold.
Yes, at an embarrassing point in my life. I don't know about you. This is awesome. We have a great guest today who we're going to bring in a few minutes. And this is a podcast where we talk about what people have been busy with. Andrew, what have you been busy with?
Oh, man. As you know, I'm back at work, and I'm at 1515 Broadway, the MTV building in the middle of Times Square. And the way we're getting a show together, etc. But yesterday was a pretty slow day, and the way our office is set up, we are on the south side of Broadway, and all of our windows face the north side of the Marriott Marquis Hotel. Hundreds of hotel rooms.
Yeah.
Most of which are, the blinds are drawn. Every once in a while, you might see a woman getting out of the shower in a bathrobe. You might.
You sound like you're staring for hours.
No, I'm just saying,
if you look long enough,
if you're patient, and
if you stare at the window. No, but every once in a while you'll see people in the window doing various things.
Right.
The hope is maybe you see a tit once in a while.
Okay, yeah.
You see a nipple.
Yeah.
It's happened.
Yeah.
Look, I've worked in the building for 10 years. It's a long thing. So, but yesterday, outrageous what happened. We catch a glimpse of
murder.
A guy killed a woman. No, this couple had taken their bed sheets and placed them on the floor right by the window, 30th floor, basically.
Yeah.
Like, imagine a floor-to-ceiling window of a hotel room.
Right.
They take their bed sheets, so they're laying right up against the window.
Yeah.
For everybody to see, and they start going through literally every stage of banging.
Sex positions, yeah.
No, but from being fully.
He calls them stages.
Yeah.
Stages like grief.
Stage 3,
denial. Yeah.
No, but they're clothed, they're disrobing, they're massaging, they're the condoms being put on, every position. But so this is happening, and we all move into the corner, common area where everybody can watch. And as it's happening, 20, 30 people on the floor.
There's an email that goes out.
There's
Everybody
an email.
Please gather.
People are coming from other floors.
Yeah.
There's executives. There's
It's Jeff's birthday. Also, people are fucking.
There's a cake.
Yeah.
It was remarkable, and it was like the NBA Finals, because these two guys, Jesus and Merrill, who are on my show, they're doing play-by-play.
Yeah.
The dude flips her over. The crowd goes crazy. He puts his condom on. It's like Steph Curry hit a 3-pointer.
I hope can't think of two people I'd rather watch it with than Jesus and Merrill.
Jesus and Merrill, it was hysterical. People are Snapchatting
I hope people
it.
booed when he put the condom on.
I know that's the biggest shock of the
People
whole
cheered. No, Charlemagne's bodyguard to this guy Wax. He's 6'10", 290, giant guy. He's like, these guys last much longer than I did. He's giving commentary. It was the most fun I've ever had in that MTV
For me,
building.
the biggest shock is not that the guy wore a condom, but that they put a sheet on the floor of the hotel room. That they were basically
Well, there was a
we're
lot
the
of
kind of people who have sex with an open shade in front of everybody to see, but we're conscious of.
It's your worst case scenario and also best possible outcome. for what you think people are doing in your room before you get there.
Yeah.
The two funny things, the room right below them was a guy standing in the window on his phone vaping. Having no idea that above them is just this couple doing every sexual position.
You guys signaled to him that people were fucking upstairs, right?
We're like, the vape guy.
You didn't tell him to use his Periscope?
And then the unintended awkward consequences, like 3 hours later after the whole thing finished up, I'm walking in the hallway to the bathroom or whatever, and I pass this girl who, I don't know, she doesn't know me. We work in the same office, but I have no recourse to ever say hello to her. And now, because I watched a couple have sex with this woman,
have a bonding experience.
Now we're bonded forever, and now I have to say hi to her and, have awkward conversation with this girl. All because we watched...
You don't work in like a bank or somewhere where this sort of thing can get you
Oh, hi, Lorraine.
Yeah, then.
Remember that time?
I have a party at my apartment once on the roof where we watched a naked guy make a pizza?
You've told me that story, but I was not there.
Oh, okay.
But now I want pizza.
That's a very exciting story. That's a great...
That's
more...
remarkable.
Yeah, we've talked in the past about like...
I have an exciting story. I was the guy.
You were... Oh, really?
I was the guy. It's
and
good
the
to see
whole
you.
time you didn't recognize him. Yeah.
But it was like... the guy looked like Ray Liotta, and it was an Asian... It was an
Ray
Asian woman.
Liotta in his defense. Yeah.
And it was an
Asian
Asian
woman and Ray Liotta. Do you think paid encounter, or you think...
They were
friendly?
there was a lot of kissing, and there was a lot of...
So then, no.
So I don't think so. But all of these theories were bandied about.
That's very exciting.
I got to see Ray Liotta have sex in the Marriott Marquis.
My week was not nearly as exciting. I saw Hamilton. That's it. That's
amazing.
You've seen it, I know. And now it's going to make my life sound very exciting. That the fact that I went to like this very expensive Broadway show that's very hard to get a ticket to. As you know, I'm married. We have a baby, and we do nothing. It's sort of like a go big or go home situation.
Yeah,
it's like if you're going to go out.
Yeah.
Do something big.
You're not seeing Jersey
Yeah.
Boys.
No. It was great, as everyone says. It was, I think it lived up to the hype. And for me, the thing that was preoccupying me a little bit while I was there was John Kerry was there. Our Secretary of State, John Kerry, was there seeing it.
Yeah, of course.
And,
who loves hip hop more than John Kerry?
Well, that was what I was sort of thinking was, I would say, first of all, it's people are sort of saying it's a hip hop musical. I would say have you seen it?
No, but I will say
it's about
that it looks so not
I've
good
heard
to
you
me.
talk about this.
It's crazy
on the on your podcast.
Yeah,
You've talked about
I
this.
can't explain to people how little interest I have
Well,
in seeing.
I'm
gonna see it because everyone's like, it's not what you think.
I will see.
I'm afraid it might be what I think, though.
Part of the reason is
Cut to Neal being like best friends with Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I was talking about this with somebody. I think Broadway looks super corny when you see it on video.
That's what everybody said.
I don't think there's any way to make a Broadway show look cool on like in like a TV commercial.
The passion on Fox was great. I'm kidding.
Because when you're there, I think those commercials, like they're performing it in an empty theater.
I watched it on the Grammy. I've watched it. I watched it on 60 Minutes, and I watched it on the Grammys.
It was. I mean, like it was real. It was great. But I would also say like it's 50% hip hop and 50% Broadway. It's sort of like a melding of those two. It's not as hip hop because there was a part of me when Kerry comes in,
on stage.
No, when he got a wave. He got a wave. He waved to the crowd and he got a big applause and then he sat down and then with like a young black guy who I assume was like Secret Service probably and then. The show starts.
Why couldn't it have been his intellectual equal?
It could have
I guess that's my question.
Because
I have a
I
question
assume
for
because
you.
he's an important person who has to be guarded. Anyway, but there was a part of me that was kind of wondering, like 2 minutes in, is he going to be like, oh no, I've made a horrible mistake? Like, I'm a 70-year-old white man who now has to sit through a 3-hour hip-hop show.
But what I've heard is it makes white people like hip-hop for the first time.
It does. And that was the thing that I talked about with my wife after was like, she was disappointed with the lack of diversity in the crowd. But I was sort of like, it almost works the other way where it's like, it's more important that old white people see this.
Your wife needs to take the long view on this.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
She needs to get with what's good for hip-hop.
In the position of power. We're the ones that need to learn.
I would say the downside to Hamilton is it's 3 hours. Like 2 hours
It
in, you're like,
doesn't-
all right, get to the point, guys.
It's real good, but it does not need to be 3
long.
hours.
And then I was saying to you the whole time
I officially don't think I'm going to see it now.
Because it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, man.
The whole time I'm watching the show, I'm like, I can't wait for the touring company versions where like Neo is George Washington.
Yeah,
that's funny.
that is funny.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll ever. Yeah, but
Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady as Hamilton.
Wayne Brady's Aaron Burr.
It happens eventually to all of them, but
I want to recast. Let's fantasy cast it. Screw our format.
But Jordan Sparks is now. So, but it was. You should. I mean, you'll see it. You will see it.
Okay.
Yeah. This is our guest has been.
He's been chiming
we
in.
have not introduced him. Very distinguished writer, performer,
The John Kerry
Director?
of comedy.
the John Kerry of comedy. Forges deals that the other side is not happy with. No.
And he's in New York.
Yeah.
Doing his. Do you call it a one man show?
Yeah, although I don't like calling
I know
it a
because there's
one-man
like
show.
a context
There's
to
real
one man
stigma.
show.
Yeah.
Like here at Don't Tell Mama's doing piano.
Neal Brennan.
Neal
is here.
Brennan.
Yes.
3 mics.
Three
Thank you.
Mics is
Yes.
the name of the
At
show.
the Lynn Redgrave
Yeah.
Theater.
Thank you. That is correct.
You saw it, right?
I did see it. We'll get
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
No, I loved it.
Oh, thanks. Man.
Is there a stigma about the calling something a one man show?
It just feels corny as fuck.
Yeah.
Although I don't want to call it a stand-up show either because that seems like chintzy.
Diminishing
like,
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
somewhere-
so much more.
It really is, but it's like not a one man show because it's not like.
There's nothing
black
maudlin about
boxy,
it.
yeah.
And like so. Yeah. It's
So
a little,
we've settled on we're going to go with performance art.
It's off Broadway.
That's what
it's
we're
off
It's
Broadway.
experimental performance art.
experimental
I'll say
theater.
I saw it. I saw it by myself 2 Fridays ago.
It's 3.5 hours long. Correct.
It was yes.
Each mic is an hour.
It's an hour, hour and change.
Right.
I was solo for the weekend, and I just bought a ticket, and I went, and
Just buying tickets willy nilly to shit.
I got it. That's what you do when your lady leaves. But I just got to say, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic, and like you're just so open and honest in the monologues, and then you undercut everything with the one-liners. Like I just thought the whole thing was fantastic, and so first, thank you.
Thank you.
And then I wanted to ask you a question about depression.
Yeah.
For those who haven't seen it, Neal, one of his monologues.
The premise of the show is 3 mics. One I do stand up on like for 15 minutes. Then I will do like a 10-minute. The next mic I do a 10-minute monologue on something more serious, and then the third mic I just do one-liners. I do like 9 one-liners, and then repeat the cycle.
Nice.
There's 2 things I want to bring up. One is, the monologues are so revealing and so open and honest and talking about some heavy shit. And to me, it's just like, if you have to do that every single night, is that just like ripping a scab off and then it kind of heals and then you're like ripping the scab again at 7:30 at night?
See, that's the thing is people are like, is it hard to do every
Or
night?
it's
I'm
just
like,
a show at this point?
No, it's not either. That's the thing is I'm keep waiting for, like, there's a sad story about my dad, and like I keep waiting for me to phone that one in, and that has yet to happen.
That's essentially what I'm asking.
Yeah,
is
like that's but I don't.
The
but
fifth Tuesday night,
I don't
are you
mind.
just like,
yeah, I don't mind. I don't know. Like I don't mind. I'm never that far from it. I'm never like woo. Like I'm not. I'm never. It's always kind of around. Not like I'm conscious of it, but it's not.
Yeah.
I don't have to plumb the depths too much to tell a sad story.
And then the flip side is like, do you get to that like fifth Tuesday night performance? You're like, ugh, I gotta go talk about my.
I don't know. I like doing it's way more. That's the thing about the show is it's way more interesting than doing stand up. It's just more.
I would
it's
think
like
so,
just
yeah.
way more. You get to do more stuff, and I don't mind telling that story. Like I don't mind telling the story. I don't mind talking about any of it. The only thing that embarrasses me is the Starfucker part. And that's just because it's a character flaw, like just straight up.
Right.
But
even that, you're so honest.
Yeah.
Like just putting it out there and admitting, because most people will like beat around the bush of like, yeah, I like to fuck somebody.
Yeah, I like to. Yeah, no, I'm cool. I just say it.
My one question, we'll move on because
Gold's just
we
sulking.
have things to
Yeah.
do.
Well, I haven't.
No, but so,
I told you I got one night out and I saw Hamilton, so I don't know any of what you guys are talking
Wait,
about.
so-
My next night out, I'm going to use to see Neal's
so one of
yeah.
Neal's monologues is about your struggle with depression most all of your life, and the basically the glut of treatments that you've tried and failed and the whole thing. And the whole time I'm sitting there watching the show and you're going through all these different treatment methods that you've gone through, I'm thinking, did you ever just get a puppy?
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
You
Honestly,
did?
Yeah.
Because the whole time, because I am a new puppy owner, and I was just like, it's right there. Just get a puppy.
No, then you don't have depression.
Okay, see, that's the thing. I'm completely ignorant, but I was just like, nothing cuts off like a spiral of self-doubt for me at the knees than like coming home and like a squishy puppy, like it's all new to me. I never had pets growing up, so this is
me
like,
neither. And I got a dog probably maybe 4 years ago now.
Did it help? Like,
no, I was just aware of the responsibility of it. I love my dog. He's hilarious and great. But it's like a lot of work. I was like really struck by the amount of work it was.
But that work and that responsibility didn't like give you some kind of purpose that helped you. He's in LA now, my dog. Right.
So I do miss him, but it doesn't give me like a newfound purpose or anything.
Got it.
I like him though. He's a good dude.
I don't have any kind of like I've talked about this before, but I don't have any kind of like
feelings?
Depression, but I do have I do get stressed about stuff, and I do get wrapped up in stuff, and I've found that when I'm taking care of my kid, the baby, it sort of like focuses me where I don't think about all the other things I have to do, or like the things that I'm stressed about or whatever, because I'm just sort of like I have this one job and that's all I can do, and it's sort of like
All right.
A dog doesn't really
I'm writing these
require-
down.
yeah,
I don't mean to
a
minimize
puppy and a baby.
And baby.
And I don't mean to minimize
Spell
it
for
by
him.
any means.
No, I get it.
I come from a
that's
place
what
of,
people just don't understand. Like,
Yeah.
get a puppy. You think if it were that simple?
well, a lot of
Right.
people have puppies, bro.
Well, I'm sure there are cases like where people like a therapist or somebody, a professional would recommend something like that, and it might actually help. There are I mean, like I'm sure like don't they give like people with PTSD get dogs and things with like
but that's the thing also about depression is everybody thinks it's like the hiccups or like did you
Right.
try putting a bag over your
Right,
head?
right.
Like,
It's a
Well,
thing
that's
that
how
you're
I
gonna
felt.
live with,
it's a little more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Like it is. I did try it though.
Your puppy does bring you joy, though.
Yes, he's a funny dude.
I'm sure they're the
Yeah,
best.
he's like just a funny dog.
Yeah. This is like you're like a dog. What do you call it? Proselytizer. Now
Oh my god!
because you've
I mean, never had a pet my
and-
entire life,
Yeah.
and then I inherited one when I started dating Jamie, and then that dog passed away, crushing.
Yeah.
And then within like 2 months, we got a puppy.
Yeah.
It just had to happen.
And now she's
it's
like
our
gone all the
life.
time, and you're like taking care of the dog by
Oh,
yourself.
and I
you
love
know?
it.
Yeah.
I hope she never comes back.
I know. I just want the puppy.
So yeah. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was like, so you ended your podcast? Is that
Yes,
over?
we retired
I was
the
a big
Champs.
fan of the Champs with
Thank
Moshe.
you.
That was great. One of the great 2-man podcasts, I thought.
Thank you. It's in the pantheon.
Yeah, in the pantheon of 2-man podcast. I mean, but
We ran out of black dudes.
you ran it, and that was like, and I heard you talking about this when I was listening to. It might have been the last one or one of the other ones, but I was like I'm one of those people that needs to be exposed to more black people.
Yeah.
Like, so I'm in that category of like, I'm glad that this existed, and like I got to hear from all these people, because I do listen to podcasts, and I had never. A lot of those were people whose stories I had never heard told, and never really heard their perspective.
That was the fun part of it.
So
and then having people on, like people that would sort of get to know people that you knew in a certain way.
Yeah, and it was a good hook, and it was like, I mean, you
It was
guys,
a great hook.
Yeah, but like
People thought we were racist, though. I will say that they
Really?
thought we were racist. Yes, it's like no, you're racist.
no.
We're trying
You're
to do
racist for
something
not
about-
listening to my
yeah.
podcast.
No, or it's just like no, they have no black guests on. So, but then we were the racists for having black guests on.
Right. Yeah. It's a weird.
Yeah.
I mean, you were segregating, but you weren't racist. There's a difference. Yeah.
That's that's funny. We were segregating.
Yeah.
But
Neal,
there's-
who was
there's
your
such a
favorite
good thing
black
as-
person that came on?
My favorite black person. You hate to have to pick one.
Yeah.
They're like your babies.
They are. They're like my black babies.
I'm kidding. You don't have to answer that.
I
But
don't
I love
even
the
know.
podcast as
Thank
well.
you very
As
much.
you know, I write and produce for Charlemagne, and so. But one of the things I was talking to Matt about having you on, it's weird to me because I've written for a lot of black comedians. I've written for Patrice, Charlemagne, Sherrod, and I. And
Where did you write for Patrice?
Web Junk.
Web Junk, got it.
And I went to Montreal with him and some stuff. But
That was Tosh.0, right?
that was literally Tosh
That was
Point
Tosh
Zero.
Point.
That was
Like,
fat black Tosh.
Tosh Beta.
And it's just, and I have this conversation a lot being on Common Sense, and it's two white guys writing the show, and it's just like, where are the black the young black writer producer guys? Like, how, like, I'm in competition with no young black writer producers for these jobs, and I don't say that in a bad way.
No,
I'm
you
just
say
like,
it as a problem.
It's a problem. Like when I left last season, I left a little early to go somewhere else to replace me. They like got a guy from Vibe who had never written. Like, where are the young? You know, and
there's hopefully podcasts like the Champs will sort of open the door. You know, Chris Rock, a Champs guest.
He has the list in his phone this guy's funny.
Oh yeah, I think he does. But no, he has a theory which is like, it takes a while. He's like, you know, the fact that he thinks that like Hannibal and Gerard and Che are like the progeny of him and Dave.
Yeah.
Meaning like, because of guys like Dave and Chris, they like, it gives people the idea that I can be like that. I can be like, Hannibal can go, I can be idiosyncratic and not just be like a stool fucker and
I can be black and be neurotic.
Yeah, I can, or I don't even know if he's neurotic. He's just peculiar, I guess.
Right.
And I think hopefully that'll happen with it. Rock brought it up as Shonda Rhimes. It's like, there'll be, in 10, 15 years, there'll be way more black showrunners female because they see Shonda Rhimes as a way to go. The irony of it is, I went to film school because of Spike Lee. Like, when I saw, when Do the Right Thing came out and he started doing press, and I was like, film school? The fuck? So I took the bait in a way that other people, I guess black guys didn't.
Yeah.
It was also a money issue. Like, it was, NYU's expensive as hell. But look, it's really not, I wish there were more, and if there are any listening, like, it can be done.
Yeah, like Damien Lemmon and I have had the conversation, and I used to have the theory.
I like Damien. I wish we'd had him on the show. He's funny.
I love Damien. I think performance might cut into it. Like,
that's part of, we talked about that on the podcast. Like, there's a premium put on performance. There's like, it's like the job in showbiz is the star.
Yeah,
and it's like, no, but there's way more jobs than that. There's like.
Right.
There's tons of other shit.
It's fascinating.
But yeah, so it's just...
and obviously in late night, I mean, it's a problem that's written about and talked about all the time. It's not a lot of...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think like anything, it'll become more, you know, hopefully over time. But
yeah, well, I don't want to...
Yeah.
But even like Bashir and Diallo, who wrote for Fallon for a long time, like immediately, the minute they had the chance to get on screen, they're like... I mean, that is the goal of most comedy writers.
Most comedy writers would like to be... on screen. The difference is, you know, black people are the only ones good looking enough to actually pull it off. No,
that's that positive segregation we talked about.
There's again. But nobody wants to put like a pale Jew on camera.
Right.
In the 50s they did. That's what's funny. That's
we rule.
Yeah. Well, we were also playing basketball. I mean,
that's boxing. Hilarious. Somebody.
Yeah, I mean,
why don't you pass the blackie
on some podcast I heard somewhere where I said, I was on Leonard Lopate, and I said, if you're in comedy, you're not working with black people, you're not working with the best people.
Yeah.
And I was like, and he said something. Well, he's like, well, what about Jewish people? I was like, yeah, that ship has sailed. and a woman tweeted at me like, what about Andy Samberg? I was like, okay.
No, I was, yeah.
All right, lady.
If you can't help her. She's a lost cause.
I was going to have Samberg get in touch with her directly and be like, here's a list of black people that are better than me, just so we're clear.
The Jew ship has sailed and everyone has seasick.
Yeah, that's,
the rocking.
You were seasick before you got on, though, in Jew's defense.
So you're here, you're here, for how long? How long have you been in New York? You're here for what?
I've been here. I think I've been here for like a month, and I'm here another 3 weeks.
Okay.
I'm doing 3 more weekends.
What's it like? Like an extent? I mean, you've lived in New York before, but what's it like for an extended period, like being away from home, quote unquote? Like, are you?
Well, I do miss like my dog and the routine of that. My girlfriend was in Bali on a yoga retreat for a bunch of it, so. I missed her, but that wasn't because of my not being with her. Now I'm not. Now we're not together, and But yeah, I missed that. I missed the routine, like just having like a heavy thing on my bed, which was my dog.
Yeah.
Or my girlfriend. I call my girlfriend the heavy thing on my bed.
The dead body.
That might, yeah. I can see how
but there is a nice thing of like having no responsibility, of just like, I'm in like a corporate apartment with like very like dopey furniture.
Are you in an Oakwood?
It's called Furnished Rentals. Yeah. I think it's Furnished Rentals. So
what's the room number?
I didn't know that people. You know what's funny is like I stayed at the Oakwood in Burbank for a month, and I didn't know. Like I've seen like those things here, but for some reason you never think of people staying in those in New York.
Shout out to the Oakwood Burbank.
Shout out to the Oakwood Burbank. Yeah. You've seen it on Love. So
as featured on.
Yeah, as featured on Love. But yeah, that is like a weird thing where you're like living in.
Is it like college furniture? Like the sides are wood?
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah,
you
exactly.
Can't get
It's like I
down?
don't think this is leather.
I would think.
And you know what else is gross is that it's there's cleaning ladies every couple of weeks, but they don't have a good system. So like my girlfriend was finding hair on the sheets, and it's like.
Yeah,
I promise you I haven't fucked anybody else. Like I can't prove it because in fact that would sort of indicate that I have, but I promise you I haven't.
That belongs to either to like a guy who just left his family.
Yeah.
But I would think in New York you're better off in a place like that. In New York you're not really spending any time. This is how I found it.
You're
like,
not spending any time inside. My girlfriend had never been in New York, and so I was sort of explaining it to. And you know, when you're explaining to somebody and you start to realize stuff, people are outside.
Yeah,
because it's like,
well, especially LA people. I mean, they look at, oh, you walk 2 blocks. What are you, a crazy person?
Yeah, but I mean, LA people will do like
Runyon.
Yes, precisely. Let's get rid of the Runyon. People will do outdoor shit and exercise and all that stuff, but it's not like utilitarian. It's specifically for exercise.
Yeah.
So
you drive there, you do the thing, and then you go back home.
Yes, to see, like, I was explaining to her, like, oh yeah, people don't want to stay inside, so people just like go out on the street and walk around, and like, because I'm near Union Square, so that was interesting to show her, and also like the proximity of stuff.
Yeah,
like we walked from 30 Rock, we had lunch with Seth, and then we went to the Empire State Building. Then we walked home, and it was like in 2 hours.
Yeah,
it was great.
Because it's really a size thing. Because in LA, like people's homes are comfortable, and so like they want to stay at home, they want to be at home, and getting to somewhere else is a pain. Whereas like here, it's like you could have the nicest New York apartment, and it's still like
1,300 square feet,
and it's still claustrophobic, and you're like, I just want to do.
Like I said the other week, like whether you are really successful and live in a beautiful apartment or not, you still live in a fucking dorm.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right, or like a hotel room. Yeah.
Any way you cut it.
Sucks. So like, all right, so you've sort of like. It sounds like you're sort of downplaying in terms of like what a one-man show like. Does it require? Is there like a day? Are you like through the day like I gotta conserve energy for this, or is it just like
no? I'm
night?
A bad one-man showman because I don't know what to do. I don't know how to like. I do. I am aware of it for sure, and I try to do stuff to make the show better. Like I notice if I exercise, if I jog, it'll be better. Like my brain will be sharper. But there's no specific. I don't have a routine.
No routine.
Right.
No. In fact, I told somebody like I eat. The show starts at 9:30. At 9:15, I'm eating fucking chicken parm.
The thing you did with Mulaney.
That's what I was. Yeah, Mulaney.
And he was saying he's so specific and regimented about like what he's eating and when, and you're just like
I was literally eating chicken parm last night at 9:25.
Yeah, I did notice 20 minutes into the show you burped, which was gross.
Is that true?
No.
Yeah. That's fun. I do burp on stage. I couldn't tell if you could hear.
You know what's funny is I know people who are like I don't eat before the show. And I learned this. I used to do colleges, and like at first I was like, I don't want to eat before the show and be full. And then what happened was I would go do colleges, and they would say, "Do you want to eat? We can get you dinner now, or you can have dinner after." And I realized that dinner after entailed going out with the students and eating somewhere.
Right,
and I would be like, I will just take my meal alone.
You feel like the fucking
beforehand.
A disinterested
I'll
uncle.
Go off stage. I'd rather go on stage and burp than have to like hang out
with
sit
with you guys
people
and tell you about New York.
Yeah.
Tell you about Showbiz.
Answer your Showbiz questions.
So we should give a shout out to Showbiz Studios, by the way, and Alex, where we are.
Thank you, Alex.
We're at the Showbiz Studios. No one knows why it's called that, but here we are.
So, like, well, first of all, I mean, are you like working? Are you working on other stuff during the day while you're here? You're like, writing.
What am I doing? Last week I was prepping a commercial that I ended up going to LA on Sunday and shooting, and then for Speed Stick and ESPN. So I flew to LA. So it's like prepping a commercial entails like picking locations and going over the scripts and the outfits and all that shit. And then shot it Sunday all day, and then I'm leaving here and going to edit it. So that's just like today. A lot of the time it's doing press for Three Mics for the show, because it's 250 seats a night, and it's like having your own nightclub.
Yeah,
like it's like just constantly like, hey, you want to come? You get your bottle. You sit down.
You're out.
Beautiful girls, man.
What's it called? You're flyering in Times
Square.
Yeah,
I mean, everything short of that. Yeah, everything's short of that. So it's I'm pretty, or I just spend fretting about tickets, but I haven't been. And then I did the Daily Show. Like I've just done stuff like the Daily Show.
Did you write that, or was that written for you?
Yeah, I wrote that, and Trayvon Free wrote it.
It's great.
That was awesome. So there's really no. It sounds like there's no routine. Like in terms of like some days you're just like working on something. Some days you're just kind of.
Yeah, that's sort of my life. Like for the last 10 years, it's like there's no specific. I just go like, what am I doing now? That's what I like about, especially doing commercials. Is like they're not long term.
Yeah.
Like the longest ones are. I did one that was like 9 days, but
9 days for a commercial.
Nike.
Was it a series of?
No, it was one Nike spot, and it was
Hamilton the commercial.
It was a goddamn dream.
Wow.
It was last summer.
That was amazing.
It was like 6 days in LA, 3 days in Europe.
Yeah.
Do you get free Nike stuff?
I do, but I get it. Well, here's the bet. All right, so I'm friends with guys. I did a job for Jordan before that with Blake Griffin and Chris Paul. I did like a little show with them, and so now I'm friends with the people that work for Jordan, and I'm friends with the Nike people. So I told Jordan I like the Jordan socks. I just like them,
of course.
And so I told my buddy at Nike, I was like, "Can you see if I can get some Jordan socks?" So on last week, I got 3 different boxes of socks, 24 pairs of socks.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It was like on some like, you want some socks, motherfucker?
Yeah.
You want some socks? Eat the socks.
They're like, yeah, nobody ever asked for socks.
No, yeah, and they sent me they sent me a pair of Jordan 4s, like premium, beautiful, and I was like, I didn't really want this. I wanted the socks, and I got them.
There you go.
So yes, I do get free shit, and it's a fucking delight.
Yeah,
if I can be so.
No, it's perks are the best.
Yeah.
I mean, but what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so you're even like more so, because I think, like we've talked about this before, like I'm an office person. I like the routine of going to an office every day, and I think a lot of people get into comedy
trying to not get into an office
because they don't like the routine of doing the same thing every day. But you're even more than like a typical comedy writer, comedy person, are not doing the same thing every day because you have so many other things like directing and you're really like
well, that's the thing is like I don't, when people are like, why don't you do another show, and it's like because they're hard.
Yeah,
they're really hard to do. So a buddy of mine wanted me to work on his show, and I was like, so you want me to sit in a cramped office with a salad on my lap and point at a board?
I like that.
So that's what you want me to do?
Yeah.
And once I said that, he was like, all right, I'll stop asking. Like once I put it in those terms, he was like, you're right, I should stop, because that's no kind of life.
Yeah, I will say that I've never worked on like a scripted thing, but that does sound less appealing. I do like having my own desk and my own computer in the room. That part is very calming. I find that very like.
I like being at any desk where I can see a couple fucking at 3 in the afternoon.
That is, you have that in your rider.
Yeah, it has to.
Yeah,
I need it.
In the rider it just says, who fucking?
Yeah,
we be fucking.
So what's the longest you've ever worked on like one thing, like day job, like where you went to the same thing?
Chappelle show. So that was 2.5 years, and that was like that was and that was a lot of shooting and being on set, and then but
so every day,
every day was something different in terms of like just I that's probably the longest, most consistent.
Yeah,
job I've had in terms of like sitting at a desk watch people fuck. Sitting at a desk and so so that's but I don't really want to do that again.
Yeah.
If I can avoid it.
Yeah.
And so far I've been able to.
Right. You talked on Charlemagne about like being asked to have some role in the Tonight Show and all other things. And you're like, no.
Yeah.
And it's too much work.
It is. It's too much work. Like it's just too hard, and it's kind of thankless.
Right.
But the hard part, I'm sure I talked about on Charlemagne's show, like, Brilliant Idiots, guys, what a great download. Go get it now. I'm totally kidding. The hard part is that if the person, the star, changes their mind about you, your whole life's fucked.
Right, because your whole life revolves
around this person thinking you're good. And now, having said that, and I've said this I said that in the Mulaney article, you think that there's it's like, well, if I was a star, I wouldn't have to worry. And then you become the star and you go, oh, the audience can turn on me at any point.
But you bring up your time in the office at Chappelle. I think I told you the story a while back, but I interviewed to be your assistant. This is a very long time ago.
I remember that, and I didn't hire a white person.
You didn't hire a white person, but you walked me to the elevator, and you're like, it was really nice to meet you. You're super well qualified. I'd probably hire you, but I'm probably going to hire a girl.
Yeah. I also didn't want to hire a guy, yeah.
Yeah, like, and I think it was like, I'll probably hire a pretty girl.
You didn't want to give
I said a pretty girl?
I don't know.
I don't think I said that.
No, it's like,
well, you know what's in my defense?
And I was like, wow, he's honest, even though I'm crushed, because, I shouldn't have been anyone's assistant, but Chappelle show, I wanted to.
But that was the thing, is wouldn't you hire women if you had given the chance, for the most part? Like, women are so diligent, and they're worriers, and they're like,
and they're nurturing, and I just know how awful of an assistant I was the one time I did it, that I project that on any male that would come to me and be like, can I be your assistant?
I mean, these are all like,
sexist
generalizations, but I mean, like, you
even if I had just a job, I'd be like, I'd rather have women than men.
I mean, I was a terrible production assistant. I don't know. I'm sure there's good ones that are both male and female, but I would think also, like, especially in comedy, or whatever, like, you walk into that writer's room and it does tend to be not as diverse as it should, and so you're like, any chance to bring in more people
that's exactly the idea. Was like, and also, but so I ended up hiring a pretty girl, right?
Sure.
Red-haired girl, and when Chappelle saw her, he goes, really, she was the most qualified? All right, and now cut to, she's the producer of Ghostbusters.
Wow.
It's amazing.
It's like, she was the most qualified.
Yeah.
Like, she was great then.
You have a good eye, Neal Brennan.
I got a goddamn good eye for people. And she produced Ghostbusters and The Heat, and she's, like, ambitious and sharp as fuck. Jessie Henderson's her name. She's awesome.
Oh, I used to work with her on something.
She worked on Collins Show.
No, I worked with her on, like, a game show or something. Wow.
Wonder Shows, and maybe? She worked on Wonder Shows and worked on
I worked with her on... a long time ago, called the World Series of Pop Culture.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Pat Kiernan.
From
New York.
I still think that's a viable concept.
It was a good show. Yeah,
it was directed by a guy who edited. I believe his name was Wyatt. He edited Chappelle. He edited music on Chappelle, and then he ended up directing that.
This is super going way back. Yeah. I don't know what it is. I think most people are like you, where they would prefer not to have, like, one thing kind of, or at least, I'm sorry, most people who go into, like,
showbiz,
what we do would prefer not to have one thing. Yeah. Whether they do every day.
Are you like a coffee shop guy? Like, if you
I have really, truly terrible work habits.
Yeah.
And I think I got to write a book based around the show and around the Three Mike show. And I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, I need to do a thing where, and I've done this before. When I had an assistant, I would do it. I would give him a male assistant who was as bad as advertised. And the highlight was my dog. My dog needed the vet needed a stool sample, so my assistant took the stool sample, put it in a shopping bag, and then put it in my refrigerator. It's like, oh, that's not even close to being right. That's not even like, you're not even in the right neighborhood.
No. Yeah.
But anyway, so
Don't worry, I left it unlabeled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I put it in a bag marked sandwiches.
Yeah.
So I used to give him. It's based on that. Remember that book, The Game?
Yeah.
All right. So there was a thing in The Game where if you want to like meet women and you go to a bar with your buddy, give him $200 and say, "Don't give me this money back until I speak to 4 women."
Yeah.
So I do that with writing, where I'm like, if I don't write 1,000 words or whatever, keep the money. And I used to do it with stand up too. I'd go like, I said to somebody a few times, like, I would give somebody money, and I said, if I don't smile for 4 seconds at a time, you
On
get
stage.
to keep. Yeah, and the
Wow.
person made $120. But yeah, so
That's
so,
a fun
so that's
use
what I
of
need to
that
of the
book.
game.
Yeah.
That's about the best thing that came out of
What
that
about
book.
peacocking?
You know, I still peacock. Look
Yeah.
at me. I
There
have
was stuff
my
in there-
feather boa hat.
Yeah. By the way, like,
Do you nag?
I didn't nag. I straight nag.
it starts. The concept of that starts from a good place, not from a. It starts from a bad place of like wanting to have sex with as many people as you want. But if you sort of like remove all of the like horrible stuff about the game and strip it down to like just go talk to her, what's the worst thing that could happen?
Yeah, no, there is.
it's
There was
yeah.
a book that. So the game was
Yeah.
the Neil Strauss book about mystery, and then Mystery wrote a book called The Mystery Method, and that's what I read that one.
Right. And then he got the VH1 show.
Which was one of the best shows of all time. But there was stuff in the Mystery Method that's totally, other than negging and all that stuff.
Yeah,
look, if
gross,
it
yeah.
doesn't prevent you from finding a great person.
No, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like just it,
Yeah.
and the more people you meet, the odds go up that you'll meet the right person.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed. I don't
Yeah.
like reject it.
I was
out of
never good
hand.
at opening.
Well, yeah, you need when you open a 4 set, you really got to come in
I could
strong.
never open a set, but if somebody opened for me, I could get in. I was
Yeah.
always good at like nagging my friend.
I
Yeah.
definitely. It's so funny because like even before all that came out, and I was single. I remember being in my 20s and figuring out like if you walk up to someone and say something unusual, that works better than just trying to be your weird. Your
Yeah.
That just reminded me
Yourself.
on the show. That was the funniest thing. His advice was go up to a girl and be like, "Oh my God, you see that fight outside?
You see that fight
girl's
outside?
titty popped
yeah,
out."
girl's titty popped out. That was
That was his
a big
go-to
one,
story.
Yeah.
Still works.
Yeah, there was a fight outside, and her titty popped out.
It's like,
it's
it's the Mysteries version of the Marriott Marquis windows.
But I just like somebody takes that advice too far, and they're like, "Do you see that girl? She got curb stomped." She's too much.
Yeah, too much.
Reel it back in. Reel it back in.
Yeah, so I use that method. I'm going to have to use it for writing a book because I have horrible work habits.
But are you like laptop on the desk?
Yeah, but I just bought a laptop. It was like $500 with no internet, which is
That's another
gonna
thing I hear
change
people
the
do.
Game.
See,
Because I can't even do like the Freedom or any of those apps. I'll figure out a way to go around it.
Yeah.
I truly.
What
am
about your
addicted.
phone? Do you like lock that away somewhere?
Not as much as I should. I will sometimes, but what I found, can you guys corroborate this? I was talking to a couple buddies of mine, but they were all in their 40s, where they were saying their memories are starting to get demonstrably shittier.
Oh yeah. I say it all the time.
All right, because I think
About
I
myself.
need to like do something because we all think it's because of computers, which studies bear that out. And I'm wondering if there's something I can do to.
I don't know. I have some dad brain. I think I'm getting less sleep than I used to, and I think that's affecting me. But
But Matt, you and I think had this conversation a while when you first moved back to New York. I think it was you about how if somebody asks you a like trivia style question in conversation, it used to be
you're right on it.
That was a huge thing. Like for a week, you'd be trying to figure out this answer because you had no. Now and then you would immediately remember that answer for basically the rest of your life because a week of your life was devoted to trying to find out the answer to this inane, innocuous question. Now, if somebody asks you like, "Oh, who was that? Who was that girl in that movie?" Blah blah blah. You look on your phone, you get it right away, and then 2 hours later, you don't retain any of the knowledge.
Yeah,
and that always stuck with me. I think it was.
I think that's what I would like to get back to that because I had my brain used to just be better.
Yeah,
it was better.
Yeah,
and now and I don't know if it was funnier or less funny, but like it's scary sometimes to have very little recall. like that trivia recall, which was truly
referential
trivial.
knowledge.
I think it works both ways. For me, I like the fact that you can be on a, I definitely read way more like long articles than I used to because I have access to them all the time, and so I'm definitely like learning a lot about what's going on in the world when I'm like,
I still think I was better off reading one New Yorker article a week.
Yeah,
than
you don't
40 BuzzFeed articles.
You might be right. Yeah, but no, I'm sure. I mean, I'm a little young, but I'm 36, but I'm sure that it'll start. I've heard that 40 once. But I mean, like, so what's your like? Do you you set an alarm in the morning? What's your or no?
Yeah, I have an alarm on my phone.
Yeah.
Where this is another one of my self-help. I have an alarm on my phone where you have to solve a puzzle.
I've heard about this. Yeah.
It's called like
That's infuriating.
It's an app called I Can't Wake Up, and it like you have to solve. There's 8 different kinds of puzzles.
Yeah,
I'm blown away. I've never heard about
vary
this.
in difficulty, and
or else the like,
or it just keeps going.
I would destroy a couple phones.
So yeah, I use that, and then I'll get up, get coffee, and then start working on whatever.
Yeah.
But it's I don't like I just got bad. I've never really had good work habits, even before like the internet. I was never especially good. But
while in New York for this, have you taken a day where you've done nothing productive leading up to your show at 7:30?
I think every day I've done nothing productive. I mean, like my girlfriend's like, "You work so hard," and I'm like, "No, I don't work that hard." Like, I don't like. I know like we had lunch with Seth, and I was like, "Seth's one of the hardest people I know, hardest working people I know." And she's like, harder than you? I was like, wait, he's 3 TV shows.
Yeah.
Like significantly harder than me.
Yeah. No, some of it is, you have to be super driven. And then for me, what I found is the only way to really work hard is to only do the things that you enjoy. Like for me, like I love writing jokes. Like if I'm off work, I'm tweeting jokes. And so for me, like it's not hard work to write 3 pages of jokes every day because that's what I would do anyway. So it's sort of like I get, and part of it is like I think I've talked to you about this before. It's like I used to be very addicted to online poker for a lot of years. I play it for forever and forever, and they made it illegal. And I think part of what helped me kick it was Twitter. And it was sort of like, basically like measuring likes and retweets.
Yeah.
And just like, it's not a great thing to be addicted to Twitter, but it's a better thing to be addicted to than online poker.
Sure.
Where at least actual money creative.
Is methadone.
It's at least A, you're not going to lose all your money. And B, it's like, you're addicted to the rush of like,
you did start betting on your tweets though.
I did. That was bad. Yeah. I gave a guy
$200
and I said, don't give me this back until I get 100.
Remember Favestar?
Oh my God.
You could have monetized that. I have terrible baseline. I've talked about it. Just terrible. My template, like baseline personality, is just terrible laziness, and so I really have to fight hard to not take it. If I have a day off, like I had February mostly off, and it's like I could fall into that, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah, the cycle.
The cycle of Facebook, Twitter, ESPN.
I say it's like laying crab traps. And then you come back and check them.
And
like,
then 3 hours later,
that tweet did.
It's like, now I can't go to the gym.
I have a thing that I can check the sales of ticket sales on the show.
Oh, yeah.
There's just like a cycle of fucking things I do.
I mean, the other thing I can do is like, and I have the luxury of doing this where it's like, I could sit in front of a computer for 8 hours and have no problem. And what you could do is like, you could procrastinate for 6 hours and work for 2 hours and be like, hey, I got 2 hours of work done.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Yeah, but
like,
I can't.
Some
I'll
people
just
can't do
use
that.
the full 8.
Yeah, that's so, yeah.
But I would feel weirdly accomplished if I, like, in that cycle of just checking all of the websites, like tweeted something that like did marginally well. I was like, all right, well, I wrote a joke today and it did pretty well.
That was something. People are going to remember that for a long time.
A paycheck is really what motivates at the end. I mean, it's like if you have to
happy
work
to be
on
back
something where it's like, you're getting paid to do this and you have to, that's what.
Well, that's the best and worst kind of time off is when you have something in the like in 2 weeks, that's long term, and you have these 2 weeks where something's coming, and then you're like, oh, I can just mess around.
But so if you don't work in the coffee shop, are you working in your like weird corporate apartment? You getting stuff done?
Yeah, I mean that's of the shit I've gotten done, but it's never
opening the blinds and it's a air conditioning duct.
Basically, no, it's actually a decent view, but yeah, like the things I've written, I wanted to write more jokes. The days just get away from me.
Yeah,
like where I'm like, it's 7 already, and then I have to decide, can I exercise? I have to go to the show at 8:45, and just like it's. Just
what time do you have to get there?
9, because I can't get in until Birbiglia's show lets out.
Right.
Because there's only one door, and long story, but so Birbiglia's show lets out at 9.
Yeah.
And then I can sneak in.
That is kind of the coolest thing. Like he's doing the show that leads right into yours.
Yeah.
And you're almost like.
But it's not like TV where I get to keep his lead in.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
you keep
where I
his
get
audience.
to get to build.
No.
It's Birbiglia's audience plus mine.
The Lynn Redgrave Theater has
Redgrave.
a monopoly on
one-man showmans.
one-man showmans.
He doesn't have as many mics as you, though.
No, the fucking guy's got one blob. He's got 2, I think. He's got no. He only has 1.
Yeah. So do you go out after, or you?
Yeah. What's cool is, when everybody goes, when are you doing a show? We want to come see it. And you're like, I do shows every night. Like I don't know. This is everyone. People.
Right.
It's a bit like a family reunion where like people that I would normally just not see. Make a point of coming to the show. And it's actually really great because I see people I haven't seen in forever, and they get to see the show, and then we go out and have a beer afterward.
That's awesome.
Which is great. Like just
and it's a great
with.
neighborhood. Obviously.
Yeah, for sure. It's Lafayette and Bleecker. So so we go out and fucking nothing. I don't really drink very much, but it's good to recon with like writers and just people. Like it's fun.
That's awesome. All right, so we want to. This is a part of the show that we've started to incorporate. I'm springing this on you. We didn't tell you that we're doing this. I apologize. But
I love it.
It's something we call the blow off. The name of the podcast is "Sorry I've Been So Busy," and the premise being everyone is so busy. We're always saying that we're so busy with stuff. What are we actually busy with? So, is there a time recently when you told someone
1 week ago, you know where this is headed.
Oh,
1 week ago, this podcast.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Wow. This is very meta.
Yeah.
We were not trolling to get that answer.
No, we were not. We asked this to everybody, so we had no idea that you.
Where you've used the excuse.
Yeah, my girlfriend was in town.
Yeah.
And we were up late, and I straight up didn't set my I can't wake up alarm.
You couldn't solve the puzzle, and that's why you missed the podcast last week?
I was struggling. I had to get a new phone. It was
dots. It was really tough.
Yeah, it was a really hard one. I outdid myself. So I straight up did not come to your podcast 1 week ago to this very day.
Yeah.
This very hour, as a matter of fact. I woke up at 11 last Friday and was like, and got a bunch of texts, and we're like, right. So I felt bad. So my apologies.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. But I mean, that's sort of what we've established is that, people are always doing things like that. I mean, are always coming up with reasons or excuses.
Well, that's, what's so troubling about humanity, or at least my version of it, is if I'm late, I immediately think of a lie.
Yeah.
Like, my brain just goes like, tell you traffic. And it's like, no, dude, you're 40. Just tell people that you fucking made them. I won't own up. I end up owning up to the mistake generally, but it's usually like my default is like a lie.
Yeah.
Be dishonest.
Oh yeah.
Which is upsetting to me. I wish I were better.
It's a fight I have with my significant other a lot, is trying to get out of the habit of stupid, unnecessary lies.
As opposed to
with girls, it's so hard.
Yeah, and she's like, why didn't you just tell me about this?
Because I'm afraid, because I'll get in trouble and you want to have sex with me. That's why.
My whole thing is I just want to avoid the conversation.
Next time,
because I don't want to talk about it.
The conversation.
Next time you can't do the podcast, just be honest with us and just say it's not very important to me.
I kind of did, though.
You kind of did.
I kind of did before that. I said,
it was implied.
I actually said something, but my girlfriend's coming into town, and I'd rather hang out with her.
Yeah.
His line was great. He goes, I
just wanted to put it out there.
I
went with
the honest. The honest approach.
Yeah, I took the honest approach on that one.
Yeah. Well, there you go. You're learning.
Yeah, I am. Thank you.
So you're growing as a person.
Thank you, guys.
You were partially very honest, so that's good. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about? We should wrap things up in a minute here, but
no,
he's legitimately very busy.
Legitimately, I love the show, and I've told a lot of people about it. And are you going to do it elsewhere?
I think I'll tour it. It's but the way theaters
Neo is going to play you, though.
Neo will be playing me. I'll tour it, but the way theaters are, you gotta you need a long lead in,
right?
So I think it'll be like the end, like later in the year.
Well, anyone listening, if Three Mics is in your town, I highly recommend it.
Well, we'll put this up before it's in New York till
April 9th.
Is that the definite ending, or
yeah? I mean, look, if something crazy happened, I would extend it, but I don't. Yeah. It's like it's hard to sell. Like I've already sold 5,000 tickets to me, and that to me is a miracle. So I'm like, I have to sell more. And it's a fucking pain in the ass because I'm out at TV. I can't, I've done Seth, I've done Daily Show twice. I did Nightly Show last night. Like Colbert and Fallon were booked by the time I even asked.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, we launched my show April 1st. I've already put you in,
okay, good.
You'll be around for at least two
I'll be the first two. So the first, if I was on the first episode, it would help me more. But
this is great. We're doing on-air booking.
There you go.
Like this.
That's how I work.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna come. I'm gonna get a babysitter.
You really
should.
I'm
gonna make my wife stay home.
I loved it.
You'll like it, I think. I mean, it's like
sure
a stand-up.
Yeah. Cool.
Get a puppy, Neal.
So, no, thank you so much. I hadn't thought of that.
Please keep diminishing his illness. Yeah.
Somebody else, speaking of diminishing, me and Trevor Noah talked about depression on The Daily Show.
Yeah.
And a woman said, seriously, does he have depression? Because he's cute.
Yeah.
It's like
can't possibly.
like you couldn't possibly have dimples like that and be depressed.
He is very cute, though.
He's fucking adorable.
He's adorable.
But,
Well, everybody stay busy.
Yeah, stay busy, everybody. That's how we end the show. Thank you very much. Thanks, Neal.
Yep.
They only get my voicemail cause I'm busy. Whenever I get with her, say I'm busy. And I'm gonna hit you later cause I'm busy. Busy with her.